we're doing a deep dive into my kiln results. So these are my little pots that I put in the kiln along with the test tiles that match them. We're going to talk about what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and what my plan is for the next round of tests. It's never ending with glaze development and exploration. So this is just one of many, many rounds to come. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, follow along. These look great. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with all of them. I think they're actually gorgeous. However, there are some things of note. I would consider myself a dabbler who has a slight amount of experience. Hi, my name's Sumi, and if you're new here, I am on a mission to pay off all of my debt and retire early. I've got 9 years to do it and one crazy ass plan to make it happen. And part of that plan is providing content to the world. So it involves pottery as part of my life because it's part of the things that I love. And I'm trying to get back to those things and I'm documenting that journey. Pottery being a big one of them. I got my degree in ceramics and that was 10 years ago. And so I'm trying to get back to it. And one of the things that I love about ceramics and pottery is just the humongous breadth of things you can learn under this medium. One of them being glaze chemistry. I'm trying to find some signature glazes so that I can use that are going to be stable, that I could use for functional wear or non-functional wear. I'd like them to all be stable enough to be functional wear though. That would be the ultimate goal. I've lined up all my results here and we're going to talk about them. So I did 2 clay bodies. I've got a Pyrate Speckle, and that's from up at Bracker's, and then Kentucky Mudworks Speckled Turtle. So they're both speckled clay. Don't ask me why. I think it's just because when I was in college, all we had was the option of our like studio stoneware, which was just like a beige, you know? And so I was like, you know, I want the speckles. I'm not stuck on it though. So if the clay ends up being a problem, I'm open to changing it. I tried 2 glazes because I've been trying like too many, which is a studio white and a variation of Val's Turquoise. I was trying to replace the Gursley in Val's because that's no longer available. And so I tried replacing the Gursley with a frit to see if that would work. Interesting results. So what happened? 1, my kiln overfired yet again. And I'm going to stop trying to fight this. It wants to go to cone 7. That's where it wants to go. So no matter what I do, it wants to be cone 7. We're going to let it. And we're just going to make our glazes to work in that environment. Let's get into it. All right, so we've got Studio White on the white Pyrite Speckle. Things to note, the Pyrite glimmers on the nude clay body that doesn't have any glaze on it. So I thought that was interesting. I like the way it looks. However, it has pinholes. And I don't know if you can see that. If you look at the sheen, you might be able to catch. So yeah, it has these pinholes, but they're like right where the Pyrite, the speckle is. So that's interesting. I would rather it not have that at all. I would rather it be a smooth surface with no divots whatsoever. So we're gonna keep trying on this one and see what we can do to resolve that issue. On the dark clay body, it's not, I don't see that same issue. There might be some divots right where the speckles are again. I don't know. I've never used a speckled clay body, so maybe that's normal, but it doesn't do that on the turquoise, so I don't think so. So I really like what it looks like on the dark clay. I love that contrast. Like you can barely see it on the white. And I like how that really makes the white shine. One thing I did, because I was curious if those divots on there, those pinholes, were allowing anything to go like into them, I soaked it in coffee, a strong coffee, overnight for 24 hours actually, to just see it would like spread out and stain. It didn't on either. And then I did vinegar the next night, 24 hours, and also no change. So that's good signs for them being stable. So I think it's just a matter of aesthetics probably, but because I just don't like to take chances, we're gonna see if we can do better. Next is the Val's Turquoise, quote unquote. This came out gorgeous. I think that this is a beautiful glaze. I am so surprised. I was surprised when I opened the kiln. It's like this sea green, blue, watercolor look. It is gorgeous. Let me just show you. I'm like, I don't even think that gives it justice. But it is so pretty. But this is not Val's Turquoise. I think I'm gonna keep it as like a glaze. And then on the dark clay body, it like turned into this like floating blue. Do you see this? I'm guessing it's because of the high iron content in this darker brown clay body. And so that probably means if I just add a little iron to that recipe, I bet you it would be a good floating blue. Gorgeous, but not Val's Turquoise. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to Art Zone on Saturday and I'm gonna pick up some Glipsy borate, which is supposed to be a one-to-one substitution for Gersley. And we're gonna start Val's over and we're gonna use Glipsy instead of the frit, which we used here. But I'm gonna write this down and we're taking note that we found a really cool glaze because I like it a lot. And I did put the test tiles in vinegar overnight. Yeah, they look just like they did yesterday. So that's good news. I'm pleasantly surprised. These are just layering tests that I did. So this one was the white on the dark clay body with the turquoise on top of the white. And you can kind of see like the effects you can get from that by layering your glazes. Here's on the white clay body. This one wasn't as successful. We've got the turquoise with the white on top, so the opposite, which I feel like was more successful. And here's on the darker clay body. Really pretty. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So I need to throw more vases. My thought process behind making these forms is as I'm working through and showing you these tests that I'm making, instead of just making these test tiles, I'm gonna be making actual little tiny pots. They're cute and you could collect the ones you like. And since they're not meant to be functional, they're not meant to be like, you're not drinking out of these, you know, they're vases, little bud vases, right? So it's decorative. You can have them lined up and you could like collect them. And you get to see more than what you would see on a test tile too, which I really like. I think this is my favorite one. Just the surprise floating blue on this dark clay body. I think that's my favorite. We gotta get through this before I run out of storage again. So like, comment, subscribe. Love to have you here. Let me know what you think about these glaze results. If you think I'm crazy, I don't care. I'm still doing it. I don't know how to sign off on this. Okay, bye.